doctor give you like a chance of survival?
He did, yeah. My chance of survival were 95% for the surgery if I got the embolization. If I didn't get the embolization, they were less than 50%. But how I came out, and I asked a question, and you know, I appreciated the honesty. I said, how am I going to come out of this surgery? Because I was thinking, I don't want to come out. We did the living will and everything. We had a will, but we had to do the living will and everything before we went in. And I, you know, if I was going to be brain dead or anything else, I said, let me go. Let me at least have some dignity and let me go out that way. If there's no way for me to live like that. So we had that legally drawn up. But you know, how I came out, I said, how am I going to come out of this? And he said, I have no idea. He said, your brain is really, really compressed, so we have no idea the damage until we get in there. And so it wasn't because of the surgery that I was paralyzed, it was because of the damage from the brain tumor. Now, also, I had a lump on my head for like 7 years, okay, that I went and I got checked. I went, not much for doctors, but I went and I got it checked. I found a lump. And he said, you having any symptoms like the vision, the cognitive abilities, nosebleeds, everything? And at that time I didn't. So he said, probably a calcium deposit, you know, probably nothing. If you start to go and have headaches, then come in and we'll take a look at it. And that was 6 or 7 years prior to finding out about the tumor. So when a doctor tells you you're going to live, you tend to believe them, right? So, and also in February of this year, and for the screening and everything else, I'd go 3 months and then 6 months and then 9 months just to make sure that my tumor wasn't growing back. And in February, they found that the tumor is growing back. So I once again have a brain tumor. So I got an MRI in August, and my biggest concern was that it would start to show aggressive tendencies and it would grow very, very quickly. So when they discovered it was about 1/2 inch, and it's right about here, right on the edge of my plate. And they were going to try to eradicate it with radiation, but it was too close to my skull. So they wanted to get a little bit bigger. Then they were going to do different things. There's cyber knife, there's gamma knife, all kinds of stereostatic radiation that they can use to kind of eradicate a tumor. But they didn't want to do it, so they wanted to monitor it, get a little bit bigger. In August, it was stable. But because of my young age, they feel that it's going to grow by next year. So I get monitored until next year. I'll get an MRI. They'll probably hit it with radiation. I'll get probably, you know, I'll lose my hair, but I'm still going to be pretty, so I'm not really too concerned about that. But at this point, that's, you know, something that I have to live with, is I got to sublet space to this son of a gun for a little bit longer until, you know, I get it out again. And if it wants to come back again, I'm going to kick it out as many times as it comes back, because, you know, like I said, I got to live. Yes? This, they diagnosed it with as new growth in February because they felt that they resected the entire tumor. So and that's what concerned us, is because they really felt that they got the whole tumor. They usually do radiation right after surgery, but they didn't, because my skull and my scalp rather wasn't healing right, so they couldn't hit it with radiation. So they thought it was new growth. But when it didn't grow anymore and it stayed stable, they changed the diagnosis to residual growth, because it was just a little thing that was just maybe left there that started growing again. But it didn't have any other like tumors that were growing in my head, so that's why they felt that the new diagnosis was residual. So that's what happened with that.
What kind of socks are these?
Right there, those are braces. Those are leg braces.
Look like Philadelphia Eagles.
They are.
Yeah.
Any Eagles fans in here? Yeah, a couple are, right.
You know, there's
Probably a bunch of Giants fans, right?
How about the nursing staff and the support staff over?
It was amazing. They really made you feel like you were at home. I mean, it was, first couple days were scary, but it was, they made it as comfortable as possible. And, you know, I was very fortunate. I had a family member with me every day, and that was so important, because there were so many people there that had nobody. They were just in there by themselves, and when they could go and, you know, do what they had to do to go home, they went home, but they went home to nobody. And yeah, that's not real beer though, but it was close enough. Yeah, that was right when I got home. So, but I had dropped 30 pounds or whatever. That's my brother. And he would come over at least every other day and just keep on loosening up my legs, because I couldn't even take a step on my own at that point until I went to outpatient. So I had to use it, but yeah. And that's the director of that unit of Good Shepherd, who usually doesn't do anything with patients and therapy, and she, for the first week, was working with me right alongside the therapist. So.
Yeah, welcome to physical therapy right here.
Mhm.
A lot of lifting.
Yep, a lot of lifting. But it was pretty incredible. There's a machine called an Arjo where it actually helped me stand for the first time in, like, it was almost 3 weeks, where it was just amazing to be standing straight like I am now and feel everything just like flowing through your legs and everything else. It almost felt normal.
That's it?
You know? No, that's they put that's electronic stimulation, and they had it jacked up pretty high, and I still wouldn't move, just to try to get your nerves to go. But I had so much nerve damage that it was almost impossible for my legs to move.
Nice catheter.
Thank you very much. I was waiting for that.
Yeah.